Okay. Morning again. Daniel Valdez again. Another one of these things. Hope you had your breakfast tacos this morning. I sure did. Became aware of some breaking news information that Whataburger now has taquitos in the chorizo flavor. Absolutely 100% the best kind of breakfast taco, bar none. I will fight you if you try to argue with me about that. So naturally, I had to go down to my local Whataburger and investigate. Verdict: not bad. I prefer to make these at home, but that's just me. Overall, I give it 7 jalapenos out of 10, which is pretty good. Alright, let's put a cherry on the McAllen Regional. Very nice regional this past weekend. Was going on the same time as South Lake. Major props to our buddy Mark, who covered the event for TexasBands.com through live.txbands.com. He did an amazing job, and I think he was there by himself, which is a very hard thing to do, a hard thing to carry a situation like that by yourself. He did a phenomenal job. We love his commentary. It's good stuff. So let's get to it. Dripping Springs High School, congratulations to you. First Bands of America Regional Championship ever. So congrats. This program is not a stranger to success. They have a state championship under their belt. And, anytime they go to state, they always do really well. It's a very clean program visually. It's a very clean program musically. It's not a very large program in terms of how many kids are on the field, but they know how to pack the sound. When they were at Austin a couple of weeks ago, we kind of looked at even though they went on kind of early in the morning, we kind of looked at each other like, hey, these guys could make it in. Unfortunately, they weren't able to make it into finals. But I would say, and I'm sure if you would ask them, they more than made up for it this past weekend. Swept the captions, they swept finals captions. They also swept the Class 3A captions as well. And what was interesting about this contest is that first and second place, first place Dripping Springs, Class 3A, in terms of Bands of America classes, and then Roma was in second place, and they're a Class 2A program. Pioneer, Class 2A program. Highest Class 4A program in finals was Homer Hanna, and they're fourth. That's a very rare thing for the state of Texas. You have to understand. Not only is this state so huge, it is very heavily populated. So a lot of the programs, a lot of the, let's say big name programs or programs that you see get all these top spots every regional you go to, they're usually Class 4A. Now the Leander schools have made their statement getting in Class 3A and sometimes 2A. But to see this down in the Valley area is a very good sign. That's awesome. It's good stuff. Roma in second place, not too far behind. Here's the great thing about Roma when talking with my buddies, this is what we love seeing. Roma for the longest time has always used French horns on the field, not mellophones, like actual French horns, the same ones you use in concert band. So yeah, it looks a little funky when they're, when the French horns have to face the bell towards the sideline or whatever, but in practically every show that they've done since I can remember, they've always had some sort of French horn section where they just stand there and they rip into the sound and they knock the house down with that stuff. It's so cool to see because I don't think anybody really does that. And all those French horn players are so talented. They had a feature at the end of the show. It was great. Roma probably had one of their best programs ever at the McAllen Regional this past week. I was able to watch the video of them. They sound great and they look great. I mean, for a small program, very, very talented. And these guys are no strangers to making it to state. They've had a couple of Bands of America class championships under the belt. And like I mentioned before, like I mentioned last week, a lot of the programs for the Valley, if they end up winning something, at a BOA Regional, they usually don't stick around for finals. Roma's a perfect case of that. They would go to San Antonio Regional, they'd win their class championship, and then they wouldn't stick around for finals. Fortunately, since it was basically in their backyard, they were able to perform in finals, not as an exhibition band, but as a legitimate contender to getting to try to win a championship this past weekend. Great stuff. Pioneer, 2 for 2. Bands of America Regional class champion at Austin, and then 3rd place overall. Pretty good. Not bad for a program that's only been around, I think, 4 or 5 years, something like that. Good stuff. Good momentum. Of course, Hannah's percussion line is just phenomenal. They're proving that their WGI placement this past spring is no joke. They are that good. Such talented kids. That's one of the things about the Valley programs in South Texas. A lot of their drum lines play with a lot of attitude. You can see it while they perform, and they really, the percussion lines in South Texas really get after it. It's such a treat to listen to. I want to give a quick shout out to an ally of TexasBands.com, Daniel Montoya Jr. He wrote for a couple of programs down there in South Texas at the McAllen Regional. So, of course, he was making his phone, he's doing his thing. He's making his phone calls after prelims, congratulating programs and all that stuff. Known this guy for a very long time. And by the way, quick plug for him. If you haven't checked out his vlog, his little YouTube vlog channel thing, you should do that. He was with us at the BOA Austin Regional. He was with us at South Lake. You should check it out. If for the only reason, if only you could just look at my beautiful face while on there. It's the first thing you see in the video. Just saying. He's done a real great job with it, and we've known this guy for a super long time. Super talented arranger, composer, and just an all-around nice, cool cat, as they say. I hope they continue to put on the McAllen Regional. One of the things Bands of America looks for when they're scouting a new regional site, can they secure decent facilities for the contest? Obviously, you want enough room for parking, and you need, you got to have the logistics down of getting the band on the field and off the field. That includes the pit equipment and the props. Not every stadium is equipped to do that. And plus, there's got to be a demand there. There's got to be, Bands of America would not have put 6 regionals in the state of Texas if they didn't think anybody was going to show up. If only 15 programs showed up to McAllen this year, they would probably reconsider having the regional there. But there were 27 programs there in South Texas. And it wasn't just programs from the Valley. You had a couple of programs from the San Antonio area. Dripping Springs, the regional champion, came all the way up from Austin. I'm sure that was a long bus ride back. There's a demand there. It's just like any other business. There needs to be a demand for the product that you offer. If there is, you'll stay in business. Simple as that. So I hope they come back to McAllen again next year. The kids love competing against each other. I know that for a fact. They love getting under the lights. This is a big deal. It's a big deal for them, for Bands of America. It's not just like a local contest, which a lot of them are used to doing. This is a big deal. There's a lot of pomp and circumstance with the Bands of America Regional. The kids love that stuff. They like the attention, which is really awesome. I think I'm done here for the McAllen Regional. Very nice regional. Like I said, I hope they get to go back. I hope some more programs, not just from the Valley, go down there to participate. Seemed like a good contest from everything that I've heard. So there it is. We've wrapped up the weekend. Cherries on everything, even though cherries suck. So there you go. We put it to the side, and within the next day or two, you know what's coming next. Let's go to East Texas. Let's go to Conroe for the Conroe Regional. Very highly anticipated, because you're going to get to see some top-notch programs, and nobody knows what they're doing yet. Big mystery. Unless you go to like one of their football games or something. That's going to be a treat. Look for that episode, show, recording, whatever you want to call it. Look for that within the next day or two. Until then, I'm going to get some rest because I am tired as hell. And that'll do it. Talk to you guys very soon. Take care. Adios. Bye-bye.